you take in oxygen, and you
Yeah.
put out water.
You breathe in oxygen and you breathe out carbon dioxide, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you eat the sugar and you
Hmm.
breathe in oxygen. You burn the two together, you
Hmm.
release carbon
Carbon
dioxide
dioxide.
and you release water.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
I mean, now that makes sense. Yeah.
So plants go this way to make sugar. You go this way to burn sugar.
Yeah.
Can you burn
So,
sugar without oxygen?
no,
Say that again.
you can't burn sugar without oxygen.
Correct. Why? What happens when you have no oxygen?
It doesn't let you burn out it doesn't let you put out stuff. It doesn't let you put out the CO2 and water.
You cannot unlock the atoms. You cannot unlock
Exactly.
the molecules. That's
Hmm.
why a candle flame immediately dies without oxygen, right?
Yeah.
Look what happens if you shut off oxygen. You get a stroke, a heart
You get a
attack, or other
stroke, heart
diseases.
attack. Yeah.
Okay? So I want you to explain to me in your own words this diagram just one more time.
Okay. Sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water goes into the plants, which comes out, the oxygen and sugar comes out of the plant. It goes in and we go in. Oxygen goes in, food goes into us, and we put out carbon dioxide, water, and energy, and that goes back into the tree or the plant.
And the sunlight breaks them open to keep the cycle going, right?
Yeah.
So this is a cycle that's powered by the sun, right?
Hmm.
Okay. You getting this?
Yeah, now I am.
We're going fast. Ask your mom.
Yeah.
She's going super fast. That's why it's a bit like watching a movie that goes a bit fast. You gotta
Hmm.
plug in, but we can always hit the rewind button and go back. No worries. Okay.
Okay.
So when you have a candle and the candle brings in oxygen, the candle
Hmm.
puts out carbon dioxide and water, right? When you breathe in oxygen and you burn that sugar, it comes out as what?
Carbon dioxide and hydrogen. Well, water, but
Yeah. Now, this is at the body level. I'm talking about now at the individual cell level. We talked about it, right? Your body's made out of cells, right?
yeah.
So each cell is doing this. That's why your body does it, because your body is just made out of cells. Yes or
And
no?
each cell does it.
Each cell is doing this, right?
Hmm.
Cells take in glucose, they take in oxygen, burn it and light it on fire, and then they just put out the CO2 and H2O. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
How much sense does that make?
That makes a lot of sense. That does make sense. It, like the sugar, the glucose, whatever, goes in with oxygen and it comes out with water and carbon dioxide. That makes sense.
And now the plants can take that water and carbon dioxide and make you more
And
sugar
make
and
more
oxygen.
sugar and make more oxygen. You take back that, it
Yeah.
goes back
But
around.
if your yeah, now if your pancreas does not secrete insulin, you don't get the door to open and you can't get the glucose into the cell, right?
I forgot. What does insulin do again?
Insulin is a key and it
Mhm.
opens up the doors that let glucose into your cells.
I see. And if it's locked, then you can't eat. The glucose don't enter your cells.
Glucose cannot enter your cells if insulin is not present. Insulin is
Mhm.
what signals your cells that, hey, glucose is outside. Otherwise, your cells are stupid. They have no idea.
Exactly.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So in type 1 diabetes, your body does not produce insulin anymore.
Mhm.
Your pancreas just stopped producing insulin. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Wait, isn't type 1 diabetes something that you're born with?
It's something that you develop usually in juvenile ages, but people also develop it in later ages.
Oh, is type 2 the one that you just immediately get?
No, type 2 diabetes is usually developed later in life. You
Oh,
gain
okay.
weight, your genetics kick in, because type 2 diabetes is when your cells do not respond to insulin. You're making insulin, but your cells are just not responding to the insulin. So your sugar
Okay.
can't get in. But in either
So,
situation, your sugar can't get in.
because type 2 is curable by like exercising, eating less, right?
Yeah. Type
But
1 has
type
no
1
cure.
is not curable.
Yeah, because you need insulin injected into you to get
Yeah.
it.
But type 1 is not curable though, right?
Type 1 is currently not curable. Type 2,
Yeah.
you can reverse it by exercising, by living a very
Yeah.
healthy lifestyle. You can make your cells respond to insulin, but you can't make your cells in your pancreas make insulin. They're gone.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So
Its
how does
pancreas
glucose?
is very important then.
It is.